Before Steph Curry changed how we see the three-point line, before Klay Thompson had 37 and a quarter, there was Ray Allen, a pure shooter with textbook form, unshakable rhythm, and ice in his veins. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but he was lethal. One flick of the wrist, and the game changed. Over an 18-year career, Ray Allen built a resume that placed him among the greatest shooters the game has ever seen. Not the greatest, no need to trigger Curry fans, but undeniably one of. Yet Allen's career wasn't just about percentages or perfect mechanics. It was about moments. And in one moment, in one impossible corner of one historic game, Ray Allen didn't just hit a shot. He saved LeBron James's legacy. But how did he get there? From Milwaukee to Seattle to Boston's Big Three, and finally to that Heat team, Ray Allen's journey was full of clutch performances, overlooked greatness, and quiet transformation. This is the story of the smoothest shooter in NBA history, and how one shot made him immortal. Ray Allen entered the NBA in 1996.
NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Ray Allen from the University of Connecticut.
The same legendary draft class that gave us Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, and Steve Nash. He was taken 5th overall by the Minnesota Timberwolves, but was immediately traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, where he quietly started building his legacy. In Milwaukee, Ray was more than just a shooter. He was a full-on scorer, explosive, athletic, and fearless. He could slash, finish, create space, and yes, knock down jumpers from anywhere on the floor. Under head coach George Karl, Ray Allen teamed up with Sam Cassell and Glenn Robinson, and by 2001, the Bucks were just one game away from the NBA Finals. One game. They took Allen Iverson and the Sixers to a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. And while they came up short, that playoff run proved one thing. Ray Allen was a star, even if the spotlight hadn't fully caught up to him yet. But just when it seemed like he could build a dynasty in Milwaukee, he was gone. In 2003, Ray Allen was traded to the Seattle Supersonics, a move that flew under the radar but gave him full freedom to be the offensive engine of a team. And in Seattle, he delivered. These were some of Ray's best individual years. He averaged nearly 25 points per game across multiple seasons, shot over 40% from three, and became the face of the franchise. He was doing everything, creating off the dribble, pulling up in transition, catch and shoot in the corner, automatic. But Seattle struggled to build a contender around him. The team lacked direction, lacked health, and lacked the urgency to capitalize on Allen's prime. He made all-star appearances. He climbed the all-time three-point list, but the wins didn't come. And for a player of his caliber, empty stats weren't enough. Ray Allen needed a new chapter, and it came in the form of something historic. By the summer of 2007, Ray Allen was one of the best players in the league who had never played for a true contender. He had spent the prime of his career in Milwaukee and Seattle, putting up elite numbers, but with little to show for it in terms of postseason success. That all changed when the Boston Celtics came calling. That offseason, Boston pulled off one of the most aggressive and transformative roster moves in NBA history. First, they traded for Ray Allen. Then, just weeks later, they acquired Kevin Garnett from the Timberwolves. Just like that, alongside Paul Pierce, the Celtics had built a modern-day super team, the first of its kind in the new era. 3 future Hall of Famers, all hungry, all unselfish, all in their 30s and running out of time to chase a ring. But here's the thing, Ray Allen had to adapt. In Milwaukee and Seattle, he was the #1 option. In Boston, he wasn't. He was now part of a bigger machine, a system under head coach Doc Rivers, where the offense flowed and everyone bought in. And Ray bought in completely. He became the ultimate weapon without the ball, constantly moving, running off screens, wearing out defenders. If you gave him even half a second of space, he'd make you pay. His role might have been smaller on paper, but his impact was massive. Defenses were terrified of leaving him open. His presence alone stretched the floor, creating driving lanes for Pierce and passing angles for Rondo. He wasn't just a shooter anymore. He was a system player, and he played his role to perfection. The results spoke for themselves. In 2008, the Celtics had the best record in the league and powered through the playoffs. In the NBA Finals, they faced off against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. and Ray Allen made sure Boston walked away with the title. His clutch shooting in that series was vital, and his perimeter defense, often overlooked, helped slow down LA's offense. When the Celtics clinched Game 6 and Banner 17 hung from the rafters of TD Garden, Ray Allen was no longer just an elite scorer, he was a champion. Over the next few years, the Celtics remained contenders. In 2010, they were minutes away from another title, losing a brutal Game 7 to the Lakers in a physical, low-scoring battle. And as the team aged, the cracks started to form. Injuries began to take their toll. The offense slowed down, the locker room dynamic shifted, and Ray Allen's role began to change. By 2012, whispers of tension between Ray and the Celtics front office had become public. He was asked to come off the bench more frequently. His touches dipped. And when Boston prioritized re-signing younger players like Avery Bradley, it became clear. Ray's time in green was coming to an end. Still, what he accomplished in Boston couldn't be denied. He had gone from a go-to scorer to a championship sharpshooter, proving that a star can sacrifice without losing their shine. He left Boston with multiple deep playoff runs, a championship ring, and his name forever linked to one of the most iconic trios in basketball history. But Ray Allen wasn't done. Not yet. He had one more chapter to write, and the next decision he made would create one of the most dramatic shifts in NBA history. When Ray Allen left Boston in 2012, the decision sent shockwaves through the NBA. Not just because he joined another team, but because he joined the enemy, the Miami Heat. The same team that had eliminated the Celtics just a few weeks earlier. The same team built around LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh, Boston's fiercest rivals during the Big Three era. To Celtics fans, it was betrayal. But for Ray Allen, it was simple. He wanted to win again. He saw that Boston's title window was closing, and Miami's was wide open. It wasn't personal, it was professional. And at 37 years old, he still had one thing left to offer: the deadliest three-point shot in basketball history. In Miami, Ray Allen embraced a new role. Coming off the bench, playing fewer minutes, but always staying ready. His job wasn't to lead anymore. It was to kill you with precision in the biggest moments. And when the 2013 NBA Finals arrived, that role, that preparation, would pay off in a way no one could have predicted. Game 6, Miami Heat versus San Antonio Spurs. The Heat were down 3-2 in the series, down 5 points with under 30 seconds to go. The Spurs were this close to their 5th championship. Yellow ropes were going up around the court. Fans were leaving the arena. And the Heat? They were on the brink of total collapse. LeBron James hit a desperation 3 to bring the Heat within 2. On the next possession, Miami missed again, but Chris Bosh snagged the offensive rebound and immediately looked to the corner. There stood Ray Allen, backpedaling, no time to think, no room to land, one chance. With less than 6 seconds left, Allen took a single step behind the arc, squared his shoulders and let it fly. Fading toward the sideline, falling out of bounds. Bang! Nothing but net. The building exploded. The Spurs were stunned. The game was tied. And everything, the entire narrative, had shifted in 1 second. Ray Allen had hit the biggest shot of his life. He saved the game. He saved the season. And whether he meant to or not, he saved LeBron James's legacy. Because without that shot, LeBron falls to 1-3 in the NBA Finals. Without that shot, the Big Three experiment is a failure. Without that shot, the criticism doubles, the pressure multiplies, and the Heat dynasty dies right there. But because of that shot, Miami forced overtime, won Game 6, and clinched the championship in Game 7. And Ray Allen? He didn't just get a second ring. He became immortal. That shot is now etched into NBA history, played on highlight reels, studied in film rooms, admired by shooters everywhere. And what made it so iconic wasn't just the difficulty. It was the moment. Everything was on the line. And Ray Allen, the quiet shooter from UConn, the guy who once carried the Bucks and Sonics, was ready. All those years of preparation, all those thousands of hours in the gym, all those repetitions. It all led to that shot. Ray Allen retired with 2 rings, 10 All-Star appearances, and the most three-pointers made in NBA history at the time, 2,973. He was a sniper, a professional, a winner. But more than that, he was clutch, smart, reliable. He never needed the spotlight. But when the moment came, he owned it. So yeah, Steph Curry may have redefined the three-point shot, but before the step-backs and logo threes, before the green lights and heat checks, there was Ray Allen. And one shot, one perfect shot, made him a legend forever. By the hoop. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for more deep dives into basketball's most legendary moments.